Good morning, Vietnam.
Good afternoon.
Just a couple of patriotic bros. Oh wait, how do I? Can I not? Oh yeah, I guess you. Oh, it's not like Skyrim. You can't. Can't walk wall.
So what quest are you doing right now?
This is the Brotherhood of Steel intro quest.
Sweet.
What did you find?
So, also, you'll notice I got a mod to make
I'm ready.
the wife character alive. And
Oh, sweet.
yeah, I don't know. What's that? No, stupid. I think this.
Come on, babe. We're going on a journey.
Oh, fuck, I picked up a carrot.
I love my high as fuck husband.
Hey, don't question your husband's exquisite combat decisions. Oh wait, birdies.
Why are you trying to kill birds?
I did
Just
kill
felt
them.
like it.
They just give no experience. And they don't drop anything. Oh.
Oh, so much for that.
So fast.
So did the spicy mod change anything about the Brotherhood of Steel, or?
I think quite a bit. Okay, so they all just die. There's no way to save them. Yes. Jesus Christ. I think some stuff. I think they swapped a bunch of characters that were women and made them men. Some of it makes a lot of sense. Like I liked the character of Scribe Halen. But Scribe Halen is sent. Oh, sorry, I'm talking over Dance.
As far as my team goes, we've lost 4 good men to this godforsaken wasteland. We've been a target from the moment we arrived. But despite our setbacks,
Hey,
I don't intend
Salem,
to
welcome
give up
to
and
the
head home.
stream.
We're end up
You're
missing.
welcome.
Asks, so how high is the spice level today?
I guess as high as it physically can be in Fallout 4. Anyway, so they swapped Scribe Halen from a woman, even though it's a last name. Halen sounds like a girl's last name. I know that doesn't make any sense, but you know, it's just how it is. You know.
There's over there.
Flies deserve to be incinerated heavily. Oh my god, actually, good shot. That's what you're here for.
Nice job, babe.
Well, who's that guy? Not my babe. Trad wife running around with a flamethrower. So, what you need in life?
Hashtag goals.
Yeah, hashtag life goals. So she's sent as part of like a expedition to scout out the Institute, which is like a very dangerous organization. Hopefully you don't get mad at me for setting it on fire all the time. Now you're cool. We like fire over here. So it doesn't really make sense to send like a woman on that expedition. I guess she's like a technical expert. Somehow it feels more normal sometimes to have like sciencey characters be women. Even though I guess that's not really like.
It's better than having them be crazy warriors and
Yeah.
also scientists.
Yeah.
Because, like, at least pick one.
Yeah.
Salem says, flamethrower are nice, but the perfect woman wields a nuke launcher.
What if you actually... Okay, so if you have the inspirational perk... because you lead by example, your companion does more damage in combat and cannot hurt you. So you could give them a nuke launcher and not die.
Paladin, listen up.
Well-
We do this clean and quiet. No heroics and by the book. Understood?
Not my first rodeo.
This isn't my first rodeo. I understand that. I'm simply offering valuable tactical advice. You'd do well to listen. Remember, our primary target is the deep-range transmitter.
I don't know why you
Stay
can
focused.
never...
Check your fire. I don't want to...
Oh, it's because they have to accommodate the female character. So, Nora is a lawyer. And you are an army veteran. So it makes sense that you go into the wasteland and you're able to, like, kill people. It doesn't really make sense for Nora to immediately, like, know how to...
Right.
The thing that's weird is you don't have a gun in your house.
It is pretty odd.
And you really should. It doesn't make sense that you don't have a combat rifle or a laser rifle or something.
It was corporations like this that put the last nail in the coffin for mankind.
Even if it was, like, your old combat rifle in a case,
Pocketing the cash.
and then you can't open the case until you get, like, higher lockpick or something. It's
But
like...
it might make sense if somebody raided your
appears
house.
as though the
I don't know.
Yeah, because you have a robot.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Robot never goes away. Oh, you want to tell me about synths?
Paladin Dance. Look at these wrecks. It appears as though the facility's automated security's already been dealt with.
What a fucking insane amount of robots.
Yeah.
I see that. Damn it. I was hoping to avoid this. Look at the evidence. There isn't a single spent ammunition casing or drop of blood in sight. These robots were assaulted by Institute synths.
Synth scum.
What are synths?
Synth? Isn't that the same as robot? They're an abuse of technology created by the Institute. Abominations meant to improve upon humanity. It's unacceptable. They simply can't be allowed to exist.
Kill all synths.
What's the
What's
Institute?
the Institute? They're a group of scientists. Spent the last...
Alright, well, no. Okay.
I'll be on the lookout. Roger that.
Oh, these all have, like, stuff for me?
And
I think,
all the loot
like,
I can carry.
the weird angle that they go at with
This place
Fallout
is a
3,
mess.
where, like, I'm supposed to feel sympathy for the synths, is very odd.
After we're
Yeah.
done, we'll have to mark this place for sweep and retrieve.
Because, like, they're not human, and they shouldn't be treated as human. They're literally just mimicking actual real humans. And
Yeah.
then they hurt real humans.
And then it works on everybody.
Yeah! Yeah,
It works, and
right?
even the people playing the game are like, but they're people.
But they're not, though.
Yeah.
They're killing real people, and then they're mimicking the emotions of those real people to manipulate you. They're not good. You should kill them all.
In Fallout 3, he was successfully disguised, right? But he's not a person.
Looks like a dead end.
And
See if you can find a way to get that door
I don't know.
open. I've got a
I just find it so concerning that, like, the sort of, like, the politics on the left is, like, any group that isn't, like, just, like, white people, basically. It's like, you can't, they're always the good guys, kind of. Or they're supposed to always be the good guys, and you can't really, like, to some, like, crazy extremes where, like, there were memes back in the day, like, of, which became, like, a real talking point later. But there were memes people would say, like, they would have some news headline of, like, whatever group doing bad things, and then they would superimpose, like, footage from Lord of the Rings and just have, like, orcs on the screen. And it was just, like, and then they would swap out, like, whatever group is doing a thing with, like, orcs, and then it would be,
be able to hack this.
oh, I need to find them. Yeah.
Why the heck are they making us record this? Oh crap, it's on, isn't it? This is Technician Rand, Arcjet Propulsion Division.
Can't break the code.
Man, I wish I was headed up there with those guys. It'd be nice to get the hell away from our lousy planet.
The supervisor is already itching to get rid of us, especially since it's taking us longer than we promised.
So what? We've been drafted anyway. We're shipping out in a few weeks, remember? Soon we'll be doing push-ups,
They
eating
drafted
freeze-dried
women?
rations, and just wishing we were spending our day inside a cushy private laboratory.
Of course I remember. But I'm trying not to imagine
That
getting
seems
my head
odd.
blown off when I'm on the front line, and keeping my mind on work is helping me deal with the problem. Maybe that doesn't make sense to you, but it's important to me, okay?
Wow. This
All
is
right. Sorry.
really important exposition. Can you just say what the password of the fucking computer is?
Why don't
Yeah,
you talk
right?
to me? We'll start a new one.
Jesus Christ.
It's like, ha, they're so quirky. They like have personalities. Look at them go.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. I find it really odd whenever, like, a fantasy writer or whatever writer wants to do some racism allegory, they decide to insert that racism ideal into human against something that's not human,
Yeah, so
instead of just different races of humans, which is odd. To some extent, it could be,
Nice
could be
work.
some form
Let's get
of
but then it always
other racism where it's like, I don't identify with being human because I think I'm above the other humans, so therefore I have to do a different fantasy race against humanity to do my racism allegory.
it always just comes off as like anti-human because
Yes.
it's like humans are so bad and racist, and this other group that doesn't like humans, they're
That
the
is
good
based
guys.
on like whatever race I'm projecting onto it.
And it's always like it's always this weird thing where it's like they'll be like, you, another human, I hate you, you're racist, and then they're like, no, not me, I'm one of the good ones, and then they're like, oh, okay, you can be my best friend and help me kill other humans. It's like,
oh yeah, it's like I'm an ally type thing.
it shows up in a lot of stuff too.
Oh yeah, it's everywhere. It's so.
And it's like,
It's in enough stuff to have become a cliche trope of anti-human stuff.
like I was even like reading like a Korean thing, and like it was just like, it's always like, it's always kind of disturbing how it'll be like, even in a situation where it's humans against other stuff that's not a human, they put the moral positioning that any amount of cruelty can be enacted on a human that's anti-non-human. But everyone who's reading, and it's always like psycho stuff, or not always psycho stuff, but sometimes it's like crazy. Like, yeah, it's just like, I was reading some like Korean manga thing, and it was like so weird. It was like this character was elves or something like that, and they
Nice.
like they were in a situation where they didn't even write it well enough that you could really side with the main character, because it was kind of like they did something that was extremely annoying and then refused to apologize, which is another thing I've seen in a bunch of Korean things. It's like someone being a like unrepentant asshole as like the main character. So then they ruin their life by getting them expelled from school, and then like get their like noble title like ripped away from them in like three like panels, right? So it's like just like weird like fantasy amount of harm done to who is most certainly like a real person that the author knew and like is just doing their own self-insert fantasy of their own life with whatever bully they had.
Some sort of straw man.
And then the justification was like racism. And then there's another character who they do the same thing, but then they have him like pull down his pants and show his penis to everybody in the lunchroom,
Jesus Christ.
and then they like tie him up so that he like stays like that for like a long time, and then like everybody, it's just like so.
The good guys, yeah.
But in order to do that, they have to like add on like they just like throw out racism and like I don't know. I've always found that to be like so bizarre, especially when the racism is like almost always in fantasy anyway. It's almost always human v non-human.
Yes,
but
exactly.
Like 100% of the readers are human, and so they're all kind of reading this material that's
You're
like
reading
trying
something
to
that's racist against yourself.
Yeah, it's
because
like-
you're a human.
But then the other races won't even necessarily. They'll like write it to be like balanced, but they're just not like they're not doing all the checks and balances in their head that it like makes sense. Because they're just like, well, I made them racist, so it's fine. Everyone will be okay with everything that happens to the character. But if you look at it objectively, it's like
It's fucked up.
so the other races hate humans. They've hated humans forever, and they're like, oh, humans are so stupid. They only live like a short amount of time. They just make wars and stuff. It's like.
Wars and stuff, yeah.
And they have no introspection. They could never write about a character, about another race that doesn't have wars and stuff that would be better. They're so dumb. And then they'll just, like, do psycho level shit to the characters. I remember there was, like, a Stargate SG. This is sci-fi, obviously, but...
Nice.
Ooh.
I'm never going to use...
Will robots rule the world?
Clanks.
Tesla.
Filthy clanks. Yeah, this is sci-fi, obviously, but they had some kind of thing where there was this like alien, these like humans from another planet, who were super advanced and really friendly, and were like, oh, we can like make the world a better place and do all this advanced technology and stuff. And I was like, oh, awesome. But then I was like, well, I missed this episode because I watched ahead, and then I didn't catch this episode because I couldn't find it. So how come these guys don't show up later, you know? And then they're like getting to the end of the episode. They're using these remote control planes and stuff. And then they blow up a plane using the self-control, the remote control plane. And they're like, oh, there was someone else in the other plane. And he was like, oh yeah, they're not as advanced as us. And so they can't use like remote control planes. And I was like, yeah, sounds like they suck. You know, I'd rather be on these guys' side. And I didn't even think of it as like a kid. I guess I didn't really understand all this stuff because I'm just watching some sci-fi show. But they're all cast as blonde, and then like all the people, this alien people, and then they go like, wait a second, do you all like all the people that you have like all the other people that are in your culture, they all look like you? And they're like, yeah, of course. And then they're like, I see what's going on here. And then they leave them, and they're like, they leave them. They need help to win whatever war they're in or something. But they have all this advanced technology. They can like improve human society and like help them to succeed against the Wauld and everything. And then they're just like, and they like leave them to their fate. They're like, I've seen this before, and I'm like, so they're doing like a Nazi analog or whatever. But I don't know what the fuck is going on, right? Because I just don't like I don't know if at the time I understood what the analog was supposed to be, or if I just didn't really understand what World War II was. But I was like so horrified where they were just like self-satisfied watching these people die, and they're screaming for help, and they just like turn off the communication thing. And I was like,
Jesus Christ.
I was like, this is fucking demented. And it was like all these characters that I liked, and it was just so crazy. And I was like,
they just rewrite them for that one episode to be crazy.
well, it's because those characters are letting Nazis die is what they're like trying to imply.
Right.
And therefore any amount of like violence and like callousness can apply to them. But then the same series, right, they have these like cavemen that are trying to rape a woman, and then they're like, was it
Watch your footing.
O'Neill? I think it is.
Powers
The
out.
military member of the squad is like, I'm gonna stop him, and then the scientist lady is like, no, it could be their natural like thing to mate by raping, and I was like, it's just like
Yikes.
so they do stop the Neanderthal like because they're like, oh well, that's she
Rape
has.
bad.
Yeah. So, but it was just like bizarre for them to position the moral like hierarchy in that show to be like, rape is nuanced and can sometimes be justified, but if you are blonde, you are always supposed to be subject to death.
Aw.
It's like, I just
And blondes are a minority too, so
yeah.
can't even. Oh,
Well, I don't know.
welcome to the chat, by the way, Never.
Look at
Phil
this
Thomas.
place.
Yes.
Describes kind of a field name.
Says, let's see, like in the Netflix Godzilla Planet of the Monsters, very anti-human. I don't know if I've seen it.
Get a power backup
I
set for
thought
someone.
this went up so much higher.
Scout the maintenance area off of the main chamber.
This was
I'll
like
remain
super
here
high.
to watch our backs.
I don't know. I'm just like, this quest, something about it makes me like
Nervous.
obsessively save. Ooh, junk jet. I don't need this, but I can hold
Excellent.
this. It sucks. It's terrible. It's a bad item. But it used to be good when you didn't need that stuff, but now you can use all of it, so it's like, why would you even put it in the game? I'm not gonna listen to that. It's just a crazy guy who's like, I'll show them. He was gonna go on a shooting spree with his junk firing air cannon.
Wonder Bar.
Shucks.
Yes.
But yeah, speaking of woke fantasy stuff, the Baldur's Gate 3. I don't know if Chad has heard the tale, but they're not going to put sliders in for faces because diversity for that game. They don't want you to be able to customize your face to be like,
Too white.
or I don't even know. You can. There are white like faces, but they also said that they don't want to have any hairstyles that you couldn't imagine on a black person. It's like, why?
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, I know why. It just, and the default human, like every time you pick human, you always have to change off of being black because they made the default human African.
Hey, Pyroseer and Joseph Choi joined the chat.
Eee.
What's up, everybody? In my fantasy novel, humans are often scapegoated for the crimes of quote-unquote immortals, a coalition of elves, vampires, and lizard folks. It's kinda an anti-war
Immortal
story.
lizard folk.
Lizard folk.
I never thought about lizards as being immortal. I always thought of them, because you could go.
I get the regeneration thing,
Oh, okay.
but, you know.
You could go the other way too, because like something that's never. Usually people just do humans plus, right? It's like every race in D&D now is just human. They have everything humans have, but they're better.
Yes.
It's like the trait for lizard.
Human plus.
the trait for lizard folk in man, it's something that has an A as a second letter, but it's none of these. It has to be pays, I guess. Yeah. Well, let's see. We can get some bonus guesses. Uses.
Joseph says, in my story, lizard folk basically don't die unless they're killed. Okay.
But here's a like, because it's so common for like like human plus. I was thinking something that I haven't really seen that much of, other than maybe kobolds, is I guess goblins in like D&D. A race that dies super quick, because usually people just go humans plus. They go just more than the human lifespan. They were shorter. But I always wondered. Okay, so there's Could be Fang too, couldn't it? Going for it.
It's Wang.
We'll reset in 10 seconds.
Just like real hacking.
America.
Yeah, Salem says, yeah, there needs to be an advantage and disadvantage to each race.
Yeah. In what's a fucks it's Horizon Quest. I wanted to do that. So I thought about that a lot with the elf with like the weight thing. I thought it was important to like have the endurance difference between humans and elves, because a real trait that humans have in real life is that's some ASMR.
Yeah, right.
A real trait humans have in real life is perfect. Okay, zero likeness is
Yeah, right.
perfect because it can't be bust, can't be mood, can't be hold. It can be cash, can't be bomb, can be guts.
Pitching.
Do this one
Nice.
because that one would have eliminated another one, or because another one had S at the end. All right, start auxiliary generators.
Wow, that's pretty
Engine
lucky.
core power restored. Thermal engine
That is a
fuel
glass.
primed and standing
I know
by.
you can turn on the exhaust pipe, but we don't need that.
Die, synth scum.
This fight is like super crazy. They just all like fall down from the sky and don't take like. Oh, I shoot him in the air. Oh, sorry. Anyway, I thought it would be interesting to kind of play around with the concept of human endurance being super strong, like it is in real life. Humans have the best endurance out of like any animal, basically, more or less. Like you can accidentally ride a horse to death, but you can't walk yourself to death. You know. Take a step.
Oh, chat, let us know how the audio is on that, if it's a little bit screwy. So far, nobody's complained, but you know,
They could all just be very polite.
they could.
Let's head up to the control room.
Excited in Stu Pistol. I'm excited. I guess I should start picking up some of these guns, because, like, I probably can hold quite a bit with, like, a companion and, oh, well, I say that, but then. Nora.
Some says audio sounds good, maybe a tiny loud during
Look
unit
alive.
action.
Sure, anything you need.
Okay. Hold my pistols. My many, many pistols. Your.
I'm on earbuds and audio is okay. Good to hear it.
Fantastic.
I'd politely say that it's fine.
So anyway, the elf in the story, I make a point of mentioning like the difference between human endurance and like elf endurance, and then kind of how it's like mitigated by elves having this sort of supernatural lightness that allows them to sort of traverse difficult terrain, and so it kind of middles out to like a sort of, you know, it kind of cancels out to sort of be normal, but it's something I wouldn't want to totally just oh, we're supposed to take the elevator, got it. It's not something I would necessarily totally want to disregard, because you it is like a unique trait of humans compared to other animals that they have a lot of endurance. So it stands to reason that it would be a trait of significance if there were other like fantasy races out there. Although you can't really have a fantasy race without intelligence or like sentience, so it's kind of hard to mess around with that, even though that is a very significant detail of how like humans functions versus animals. So it's a huge fascination of people to make smarter races than humans. I think just because people don't really know exactly what makes humans special. We also are awake more hours than other animals. We have like 16 waking hours.
I hope that's the last of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like
Don't see that
dogs
device
are
anywhere.
like they
Fan out and
sleep
check the
for
signal
like
mains.
Sleeping 90% of the day.
yeah.
Well, let's
And
get
they're
out.
like most animals are in a
Service
constant state of
elevator
rest,
service.
whereas like you can be conditioned to like keep walking every hour of the day, and that's significant. And you can be awake for longer than other people. It's almost like terrifying, right? Because if you had like another fantasy race, you have humans which can be awake longer than other animals, so it stands to reason that they would be. This is very difficult if you have a party of different races, though. But like, it stands to reason humans, if there were other fantasy races, would be awake longer than other fantasy races. So like, imagine like a party of like, I don't know, what's a fantasy race? I literally.
Elves?
Yeah, but not elves.
Goblins?
No, people always say elves and goblins.
Vampires?
No. Fuck. I don't know. Bullywugs. So say there's a group of bullywugs is like trying to get away from, or let's say lizard men, because that actually is a pretty apt example, because lizards in real life don't have a lot of endurance. If they're trying to get away from a group of humans, it sounds terrifying. Humans are awake for 16 hours, whereas like, you don't really have that in a lot of animals. Most animals have to kind of sit around resting all the time. So you're trying to get away from a race of creatures that's like supernaturally like high endurance. They're awake. They're physically awake for longer than you are before you start suffering like the effects of sleep deprivation. It sounds like badass, right?
Yeah.
Not only are humans like smart, they have like a shit ton of endurance, a shit ton of waking hours.
There's a reason why we're on top of the world, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, there's so many advantages to humans. So you kind of have to pick and choose what you're going to do, because if you have fantasy races, you kind of have to put everyone on an intellectual like level playing field. And then of course you have a lot of people who are into fantasy and are just like massive cucks, and they just hate humanity as a whole. So they're like, oh my god, I wish I was an elf. It's like, oh yeah, great.
Bunker looks clear.
So they just make every fantasy race like way better than humans.
Wish I was a blue alien on a planet called Pandora.
Yeah, that wouldn't be
so pretty.
that wouldn't be a baguette. I hate this. This is so stupid. Why does this exist?
What?
Okay. So if you'd walk out to him, right? Because he has the quest mark. You walk out and go talk to him. If you do, you stand next to those toxic barrels.
Oh.
Right? And you get irradiated the whole conversation. So
That is really dumb.
so you can bait him over here, I guess, but it's
Excuse me, Paladin Dance?
Well, that could have gone smoother. But
Yeah.
mission accomplished.
smoother.
Smoother? I thought we did fine.
That sweep was sloppy. We were caught unprepared more than once, which is unacceptable. However, your extra gun gave us the edge we needed. I'm not certain I could have accomplished the mission alone.
What do you think about my crippling jet addiction?
I thought we worked well as a team.
Agreed. It's a refreshing change to work with a civilian who can follow orders properly.
Oh, you know what?
It's not like I like you or anything.
I believe we have two
I was just thinking, I was gonna do the Brotherhood. I was gonna do the Brotherhood quest line with this character. It's impossible because every time you take drugs, Dance gets mad. So I can't do the Brotherhood with this guy. I gotta do it with another character.
You're right, because you're super drugged out on this character.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome, civilian.
Should tell him not enough. Need more
As far as the
stuff.
second matter goes, I wanted to make you a proposal. We had a lot thrown at us back there. Our op could have ended in disaster, but you kept your cool and handled it like a soldier.
Sally
There's
says,
no doubt in
well,
my
you won't
mind
know
you've
Dance's
got what it
stance
takes.
on it if you
The
don't
way I
offer
see
him
it,
some.
you've got a choice. You can spend the rest of your life wandering.
This is like really annoying. So Kate,
Trading an extra hand for a meager reward.
she likes it when you do drugs, and then when you get closer to her, she's like, ah man, I'm strung out on all these drugs.
What do you say?
Take me to rehab. You take her to rehab, and then she's like, every time you do drugs, she's mad, and it's like, shut the fuck up. You junkie.
Oh, wow.
I don't, what?
I can't even see.
I'd be honored to join the Brotherhood.
Brotherhood might be the best chance I'll ever have to find my son.
That's what I wanted to hear.
Yeah.
Meet me
no
back
way.
at the police station and we'll discuss the details.
I like how you have an option of romancing your own wife. It's like the mod was not maybe like the most exquisitely put together.
Lead on.
You should whistle at your wife. Okay.
Huh?
Hun, can we chat?
Sure, I guess.
Don't worry, I'm not gonna try anything. You know, and I know
What does that mean?
between the
Hold on. This is slightly odd with the helmet on.
Hey.
I'm ready. Hey, got a minute?
Sure, I guess.
Don't worry, I'm not gonna try anything.
Yeah.
You know, and I know
You
that
better
2D
between
beauty,
the two
3D
of
pig.
us, there's nothing that can stand in our way to make this a better world. So
that's romantic.
I was wondering if we could get to know each other better. But it depends. Do you more than like me?
Intimate? I thought it said intimidate.
Intimidate with your
Will it
cock.
be like that park a year
Will
ago?
it be like that night in the park a year ago?
Oh, right. The park. With you. Maybe. I'll think about it. I'll let you know when I'm ready. Yes. Even
they have
after
sex
all
in the
we've
park?
done, you've certainly made a difference.
Yes,
to me.
and you can only figure that out if
And
you've done the intro of both
Destination's
sides
not worth it
and
if
pick
you're
that
not
voice
part of the
option.
journey. Because I don't think I'd be happier with anyone else. You still love me though, right?
Wow, there are no words. That's so mean.
Of course I do. I'm in love with you. And I don't think I'd be happier with anyone else.
But
My
if I hugged
marriage
you,
was the most important thing in my life.
I would crush you to death.
You've shown me how to be a better person. What you said to me before, coming from you, it means a lot. I realize now that I'm in love with you too. Thank you. Let's get out of here.
Weird.
You realize that now?
Yeah, it's, I don't know. I mean, obviously these voice lines are like harvested out of all sorts of romance options with all sorts of characters, and a lot of them are cut lines too. I think at some point they intended like it to be possible to like make Nora into a synth or something. So there's a couple lines. There's a couple lines that indicate her talking to that are cut that are in the files that are like her actually talking to you. So
Gotcha.
some of those are used, and then a lot of them are just like from different romance options and stuff. It's just. I got a perk. What did I get? Thanks for your inventory. Headshot accuracy is reduced. Headshot accuracy in VATS is increased by 5%. You also do 10% plus more damage and gain 10%. 10 energy resistance when facing 3 or more opponents. Okay, that's a little busted, but okay. I'll take it. It should be the strongest perk, since you know. love. This heavy incinerator kind of fucking sucks.
Aw.
I mean, I guess it's fine, but I don't know. I want to switch weapons, but like, I have not built this character to be the most like versatile character exactly. I don't know why, but no one's selling 5mm. No one's selling 5mm rounds, which is what the minigun needs. I'd like to use the minigun, but
Never says that is one patriotic power armor, and Salem says I'm cracking up looking at her holding a flamethrower in a dress. It's the flames of love, man.
what's her outfit in the intro? Is it
I like the dress though. Looks good on her.
I think it's
Can I help you?
I want to dress like.
can do. Okay. I think it's actually laundered loungewear, is what I'm thinking of. In the intro,
Hey.
Sure. Anything you need.
I'm pretty sure she's wearing this. No, she's not. It's super weird.
Pyroser says it said that sharing a crisis makes some people closer. She took it literally. A freaking apocalypse to realize that. I love you. I realize that now.
Okay. Man, I'm like, it's so automatic. I like take the fusion core out. Oh, actually, there's Moo.
I did hear him though.
It can only mean one thing.
Heads up.
Lead
wait.
on.
Hold on. It's fine. I'll catch up with him somehow. That is not necessary for my. Can I store stuff? It's still not. Oh wait. Put that away. Put that away. Put that away. I'm gonna put the minigun away. I mean, I can't even use it.
Hey, Carl.
Back again? Time to do business?
Yeah,
I'll take a look. Sure.
I got a little bit of everything.
Yeah. Okay. Buy that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. And then, how about fuckloads of water?
Woo!
I need to buy lead. In fact, what does he have shipments of? Shipments? Is you have a shipment of lead? No, I guess not. Not even plastic. Oh, lead is in a battery. I didn't know that. Or no, I think I did know that. I just forgot. Desk fans are always good. I know like nuclear material at some point is like super important, but hey. Acid and plastic, alright. I feel like cracked deathclaw egg would be much more of a novelty than just like something you'd break down and use for like, I don't know.
Right. It's like when you sell shark tooth necklaces. Hey, you want some cracked deathclaw egg necklaces?
Yeah.
It's so cool, man. You ever see a deathclaw egg? I got one right here.
Is Gurki in or is he outside?
I thought he was inside.
So I was
Should always take a check though.
just hearing like dog whining from outside. I don't know if that's. Oh, did I just buy? Oh, that's what it
Just
is.
sleeping. He's just sleeping, puppy.
The stupid dog. I'm sorry, I'm like stupid. Okay.
That's okay. You have been awake for a while, so.
Interesting note about like there's some weird phenomena with the Fallout games. People have this like weird elitism that's like completely completely bizarre to me. So there's some people who read the wiki for like Fallout 2 and then they think that they know like way more than Bethesda knew when they made Fallout 3. And then we'll be like super critical of what Bethesda has done with the series. And it's like I played, and then like a lot of their like comments make no like that I remember these various people I've run into in my life. A lot of their comments make no goddamn sense. I remember someone was like, "Death claws are supposed to be rare, and you should never like run into them." Right? But then I played Fallout 2, and I ran into like hundreds of death claws. Literally more than ever makes sense. It's because... Oh, can I... Oh, I put it into the... Okay, put it into storage. Because there's random encounters, because it's a... God damn it. There's random encounters, because it's just like a... You know, it's that type of, like, travel by map and then random encounter, like, Pokemon thing. So, like, in Pokemon, in one set of tall grass, you'll have, like, literally endless monsters, but it's the same thing with like Fallout 2. You just come across like literally 20 death claws in a random encounter, and then you have to like just die, I guess. They'll destroy you, but they're not rare. Like I remember reading that on the wiki, but it's not true. Like it's true in like the lore sense. Okay, so that takes circuitry to repair. That's what I want to know. So I think this set is going to be my casual set, right? Because, like, this is more damage reduction, but it takes too much stuff to repair, whereas... Oh, wait, patriotic... Why does it take circuitry? This is just steel, this is just steel, this is just steel.
Sam says, I plugged in the game just now, and there's a mod where you get Elon Musk's flamethrower.
Oh.
I didn't know that was a thing.
It's not a flamethrower. Wink, wink. Yeah, he sold like 2,000 not a flamethrowers on his website.
That's that thing.
Yeah.
Not a flamethrower, flamethrowers. There.
Blah.
No.
Blah. Alright, I've leveled up a couple times. Let's see if I can go to Diamond City Market and talk to Giorgio Gill. See if he sells me some 5mm. What the fuck is a 5mm round anyway? I don't know. To me, it seems like 5mm wouldn't be expensive
one of those.
because
Probably nothing. But some guy came into town, said he picked up a weird distress call at Candy's room.
map traveled in at the wrong time.
I want to be left alone.
You know what I want? Your death.
I want you to stop breathing.
Now I have to do what all sane people do and wait for 12 hours until it opens up again. Sitting in a chair, 14
my
hours, with no
goodness.
cushion, just steel on my ass.
Just staring forward.
Yes, I'm not a synth. Yeah, I know it was like a century ago we were talking to this, but the racial advantages with like elves versus humans. I also I'm like in designing the elf race advantages. I was also very much keeping in mind
About guns? Maybe you want to consider something a
human
little more.
advantages.
Let's see what you have.
But
Everything
at the same
ain't
time, I
gold.
wanted the elves to feel cool and magical. So the magical lightness, I thought, could be a really interesting thing because you have this certain ability to... Okay, so now he's selling cryo cells. Interesting. But no 5mm still. I wonder if one of my mods is like fucking with the ability to buy... I don't know. And nobody's selling lead, which is weird. You'd think he would have shipments of lead. The gun salesman. Infected me with your yawn.
Sorry.
Not good
It's
enough.
been a long day. I'm tired.
Your apology is not accepted.
No. Accept me.
Mm-mm. Yeah, whatever. This thing is like just random in my inventory and making me mad. Yeah, so you can sell flamer fuel, but I think now that I'm using a heavy incinerator, I'll just never run out of that. You know what? Let's use the cryo later. Can't even afford all this. I guess I don't necessarily have to always stay in like positive, but okay. Slap a fusion core in there. Normally, I would go recruit Kate and then have
You read that
her
article in Public Occurrences?
command her to try to pick the
Could be
lock like
anywhere.
70 times. But instead, I'm going to use a magic power called the console. Because I can't be fucked to go through the Kate quest line.
You're a wizard. Just change the magic spell.
How do I go down? Is it... There's a button in here. Life is an extreme sport. Spelled with an X.
Is that what the bang can says?
And bang is the extreme energy source to, in capitals, live. In capitalized life. And then extreme. Not to the extreme, just live life extreme.
I think the last time I remember the X stream being used, it was from an extremely goofy movie.
That sounds...
And it was corny even in there, and they fully knew it.
Sounds pretty radical, dude.
Oh, it's super radical, man. They had slam poetry, and they snapped instead of clapping. Very
Dude,
extreme.
have you ever fucking been to, God, kill me, yeah. I've taken a poetry class.
Nice. Coming back.
Coming back for you later. What if I just
Back later for you.
pick the lock?
Perfect.
Let's do it. Yeah, again, normally I would go recruit Kate, but Kate is like swapped out with like a pit fighter dude, and you know, it was fucking, I didn't give a shit. This gun also probably sucks cock, so we're gonna give it a shot. But I've used this before and remember thinking this is insufficient for the difficulty level. So we'll see. I have this on survival, hopefully, unless it like is different per save. Okay, yeah. So I have a mod that changes very hard to act as survival, and have another mod that makes 80% of spawns legendary, but I think it'll take a while for it to kick in because like everything is already kind of determined, so stuff has to like replace, and that takes like 3 in-game days or something. And I don't know if you can make time pass by just hitting wait over and over again. But hopefully soon, everything will be ridiculously difficult. Okay, so let's see. Go to Park Street Station and wipe out some 1940s mobsters.
Hell yeah, man. You starting to feel the slurpee?
No,
No?
I am not tired.
Okay.
You're tired, in fact.
I am.
I'm really thirsty.
Oh,
and
you
I
want me to
need
get
water.
you some water?
Yeah,
Yeah, I can do that.
that would be fantastic.
That's what your lady's here for.
Meow. Could you pour out the water that's in there?
Water that's in there.
In the glass.
Oh, yeah. I thought you meant like there was water in the fridge or something.
Okay. Time to insert Arnold Schwarzenegger's Mr. Freeze reference here. Some motherfuckers.
Let's kick some ice.
Ugh.
There's a COVID mask mod. I'm at a loss for words.
There's also a like BLM mod.
Yeah, of course there is.
And it was like superficially placed in like the mod of the month slot, even though it didn't have like basically any endorsements. Like there's other mods that had more, but they was just put in the number 1 slot. It's like, huh, I wonder if that was game.
Alright, everybody, chill. There's a Synth Lives Matter shirt, too. Of course there is.
People started making fun of it. They made a Ghoul Lives Matter shirt.
Ah, jeez.
And the Ghoul Lives Matter shirt had like a million gazillion upvotes because it was the same month as the BLM shirt.
Mm. And I'm sure that the only shirt would get banned would be the All Lives Matter shirt.
Oh yeah.
The best decision we've ever made. Look at this place.
I still say Malone's weak. We caught that detective snooping around, and what does he do? Locks him up.
Nice to meet you.
Pyrosu says, wait, I was out for a while. What happened? We're kicking some ice. Yeah, we're killing some 1940s
They actually
monsters.
freeze? Oh, you're just like a guy. I wasn't sure what was exactly going on there. I'm just enacting America on organized crime.
Yep, that's what we do.
Who's there?
Bam, bam, bam.
Ah, here we go. We got legendary shot. Slow-mo. Slow-mo, very necessary. Oh, what do we get? A blazing pipe wrench. What if garbage ability? 25% chance to deal 50 fire damage on a successful block. Glad I got
Should've
that.
saved and killed him over and over.
Well, hopefully with this mod, I just get like
Bad idea.
tons and tons of these legendaries, so I could like get some fun stuff.
Nice to meet you.
There's a lot of legendaries.
Yeah, nice and good.
What do we get? Rapid. Oh, that's like solid. Like, yeah, I'm not using pistols, but that's solid.
Yeah, nice.
Actually, you know what? Get roasted, nerd.
Hey, Cashmaster64, welcome to the chat.
Willkommen.
Back from watching Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, a really good film. Looking forward to Part 2. Yeah, I heard a lot of people saying that they really enjoyed the Mission Impossible movie that's out now.
I'm always shocked when a good movie comes out.
Yeah. I haven't seen too many Mission Impossibles, but the one part of the Mission Impossible movie that I did see was not good. And so it kind of turned me off on the franchise. And I don't even remember which one it was.
The first one I saw was like some kind of insane, like just absolute chaos of playing around with the concept of a 3D printer that can make you a perfect face prosthetic mask.
Yeah, I've seen that concept thrown around a lot.
And microdots. Meaning like
Microdots?
yeah, meaning like you would put a stamp on a letter and then you peel off the stamp and then there'd be this tiny dot and then you'd use some kind of computer to check the data on the dot and it would be like tons and tons of data would fit on the tiny dot. I think there's supposed to be a cut. If I'm outside the power armor, I think I unplugged that part of the
KHMS64 is asking, is Adam a space marine now?
I'm an American. This is just what a standard American looks like.
Yeah, you might not be used to seeing a standard
Baseball
American
bats.
being represented in media, but this is what we're actually like.
And these are not actually Italian mobsters. They're Albanian.
So I got a question.
That's the secret.
Why
That's
the
the
hell
secret
would
lore.
anyone
And
build a vault
communists.
out of subway? What?
Communism. Great English. Failure. Oh, I did a shit ton of damage to myself. It's you don't feel the health when it's on the dial in the corner. You don't really feel losing the health. Drink some Nuka-Cola. I like how the rads like shoot up like, why are you drinking that? You know, I've had real life Nuka-Cola. I've had irradiated soda. Have I told this story before?
Yeah, well, you told me. I don't know if Chad heard it before.
Hell?
Oh, this is not gonna be good. Oh boy. Where am I going? Bam. So there's a soda called Iron Brew, which is like a Scottish soda. As it turns out, Scottish people are absolute fucking lunatics. Because it's like this bright orange soda, and the way it gets bright orange is actually through a nuclear isotope.
Delish.
I wonder if it's as bad as Red Dye number 40.
Hey, maybe if you drink enough of it, you'll have superpowers. Who knows?
Probably. You know what? I would say probably the sugar would cause me problems before the radiation. If I had to guess.
Fair enough.
Instigating Knuckles. Absolute soy boy puss-pusses. Who shot at me? What fucking retard is like, I can take him with a pistol. I am on so much combat meth. and I've got a heavy incinerator. What universe is this going to work out for you, pal? I must admit, I don't have that many stim packs. Also, my trad wife has a flamethrower. Regular flamethrower.
Well, maybe you'll pick up some stuff on the bodies.
Yeah, I guess, I don't know. I haven't been getting stim packs from these gentlemen.
Broke-ass mobsters.
Yes. Maximum capacity armor-piercing submachine gun. That sounds like it would sell for a lot. I don't know if it will. Probably not. What is... Oh, that's just another entrance. Alright. Let's have at it, boys. Yeah, the game gets much easier to play third person when you use Jet. Also, Jet in Fallout 2 is dangerous. Like, the amount... What it does for you in this game is like, okay, it gives you slow-mo. You can kind of live without it, or whatever. It's very useful. I think this is a much more interesting way to play than using VATS. And the reason I kind of think that is because VATS is incredibly buggy. It is so annoying when you just enter VATS, you just sit there idle, don't attack, and then you just die, and it's like, I guess I'll load and try to use VATS again. It's incredibly buggy in this game.
How you doing in there, Valentine? Feeling hungry? Want a snack? Keep talking,
Whereas
meathead.
Jet just works.
Give Skinny Malone
But like,
more
Fallout
time to
2
think about
is
how
a
he's
turn-based
gonna
game,
bump
so
you
you can
off.
only
Don't
use
give me
VATS.
that crap, Valentine.
And it does the same
You know
thing in
nothing,
Fallout 2.
you
It's like, it's almost
Really?
as though they were doing an adaptation
So
of
I'm writing
3.
your name down in that black book.
Let's do this.
Lousy.
I don't want to, like, burn myself alive. Is there some other way we can settle this? This is such a cool thing. Such a cool, like, weapon concept, honestly. The tire iron would just have an axe fitted to
Oh, yeah.
underneath the tire iron.
Struck
Such
the
a cool
name
weapon
across
mod.
3
That's
times. Hey, you! I don't know who you are, but we got
It
3
kind of makes
minutes
sense
before
when
they
it comes
realize
to
muscles for brains ain't
realistically weapons that you make. Like if you had
yeah.
a broken axe and that's the way that you fixed it was by attaching it to a tire iron.
Mhm.
Makes sense.
It does, especially because, like, wood would kind of be a weird thing to try and figure out.
Yeah, and if throughout like 200 years it would be like all rotted and shit.
Unless new trees grow, but I don't think they
Well, unless
do.
you make new axes, but that's probably a more efficient way. If you're like finding
my knight in
weapons.
shining armor. Question is, why does he come all this way? Risk life and limb? An old private eye.
My son, Sean, is missing. He was kidnapped. But I don't know who took him or where they went.
Oh,
Missing kid.
before I forget. Fallout 2, agility. So in all the Fallout games I've played, agility increases your AP, which in this is just your VATS, and you can like use this extra aiming ability in combat, and it's whatever. It's good, but it's not like vital. Fallout 2 is all turn-based, so the only actions you take are within VATS. Therefore, the amount of turns you have is determined by your agility score. Why wouldn't you pick 10? Like, who doesn't pick 10 in agility? It's a completely unbalanced stat because you can't put 1 into it. You can't even you can't even function. So you have to put 10 into it because you're a sane, rationing person. I can understand. Maybe you're like, oh, I'm just gonna use this specific gun. It uses 3, so therefore I don't need 10 AP. I need like 9 or something because I'm gonna attack 3 times. I'll have 1 left over. And when am I gonna need to use an item or something? I don't know. Whatever your logic is, but it's like you always need to dump so many points into agility. It's a terrible stat. It shouldn't exist. It's like the idea of like, I mean, to some extent, it's kind of fun to just, have a IQ above room temperature and just like put 10 points into it and have like more actions than the game is designed for, because I don't know, they don't expect you, I think, to have that many actions, especially early on in the game. But yeah, I mean, the other stats is all whatever.
Huh? Well, you came to the right man.
Please, All I want to do is find my baby.
I've been cooped up in here for weeks. Turns out the runaway daughter I came here to find wasn't kidnapped. She's Skinny Malone's new flame. And she's got a mean streak. Anyway, you got troubles, and I'm glad to help. But now ain't the time. Let's blow this joint. Then we'll talk.
Alrighty.
Malone's crew here used to be small time. Muscled out of the old neighborhood by bigger.
Let's do it. How do we get out of here?
I assume you follow Valentine.
Oh.
No.
It's coming this way. Where are we going, Val? Oh. Well, we're not using an axe. Yeah, we'll mix it up a little bit. Oh, this is a mod weapon. Let's see how it does. Well, I guess. I just clicked and it just crashed a desktop. Okay. Going back in. At least this game launches pretty quick. It's so weird, when you aim down sights with that gun, like you hold up a finger to, I don't know, to be the, is it exit save? How did I have an exit save? It crashes to desktop. Did I quit out at some point? What is this?
How you doing in there, Valentine? Feeling hungry? Want a snack?
Keep talking, meathead. It'll get...
I wonder if this gun, if this mod gun is like...
Give Skinny
busted
Malone
or
more
something.
time to think about how he's gonna bump you off.
Don't give me that crap, Valentine. Who's there?
Okay, yeah. Looks like I can't use that. Let me make sure that... Oh, is it not picking it up? Oh, quick save, not exit save. Is it? Oh, no, okay, there it is. Oh! No, that's in the right spot. Okay, cool. Alright, so we're not using that gun. I think probably best if I just... toss it on the ground. Here we go.
How you doing in there, Valentine? Feeling hungry? Want a snack?
I like the aiming of
Keep
this.
talking,
Kinda nice.
meathead. It'll give Skinny Malone more time to think about how he's gonna bump you off.
Oh, good.
More than that.
Good
Hey, you!
riddance.
I don't know who you are.
Let's do
But
that.
we got 3 minutes before they realize muscles for brains ain't coming back.
See what chat's saying. Rolling over to you guys. Didn't we see this scene last time? Correct, yes. This is a different character. I know, I have a problem. I think everyone has this problem when they start new games, etc.
There we go.
It's a similar build, but I wanted to use heavy weapons.
My knight in shining.
I know it doesn't really make sense.
Question is, why does he come
Well, no, I wanted to use heavy
With
weapons
life
and
and
automatic
limb.
weapons, and then I made a separate
Oh,
character to do
right.
automatics because I figure I want to really try to do heavy weapons as much as I can. Because if I use something and heavy weapons, I tend to not.
My son, Sean.
Missing kid.
Please.
Been cooped up in here for. Anyway, you.
Yeah.
Malone's crew here used to be small time. Muscled out of the old neighborhood by bigger players. Dead.
Communist.
Got him.
Communist in here. Why don't I have a HUD? Kind of
No
peculiar.
way to pick this.
Oh, he has to pick the lock, so I have to wait for him. I wonder if I quit to the main menu and go back in, does that fix my HUD? Or have I done something more sinister to my HUD? Oh, there it goes. Come on. Come on, Mr. Valentine.
This door's on the fritz. Let me see if I can get it open.
Yeah, anyway, if I use heavy weapons and something else, I tend to just use the something else, because heavy weapons always feel like something you're supposed to save. So if I just force myself to try and use almost exclusively heavy weapons.
Oh, the guy Smash 64 says Ethan Van Sciver's take on anime has my blood boiling for a while. I didn't hear about that. Did he have, did he say that he didn't like anime or something?
Man, there's so many fucking, like, boomer conservatives with, like, shitty takes on anime. It's like...
To be fair, there's definitely a lot of anime out there that if that's your first experience seeing anime would look bad.
Okay. There's the whole thing of, like, what anime would you recommend for a beginner? What?
Yeah, and I made a whole video about that.
Right.
Actually.
What anime would you recommend to make someone never want to watch anime again? Like, you have this friend, right? And whatever he likes, he ruins. Right? Like, he'll like, I don't know. He'll like make custom. He'll make a custom sweater for your mom. Like, give it to your mom.
Hey, Valentine.
So like you can't. Oh no. I have no health. You can see in the corner. So I shot someone at point blank with an incinerator.
He said that it's for coomers and useless people. That is quite a fiery take right there.
What the fuck is wrong with
coomers? I don't know. There's sexy women in his comics too, though.
Coomers and useless people.
I feel like I would need more details on that. You know.
He could be just memeing. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know him as like a public figure enough to know whether or not he's even someone who memes.
The boss says hello.
Yeah, I mean, like, the big critique that you will often hear about anime is that it's overly sexualized, which, once again, depends what anime you're actually consuming. But you could argue the same thing of a lot of American comics being overly sexualized, depending on what American comics you're reading, you know?
I've heard people be very annoyed that there are fan bases for characters, and they think that's like the downfall of the West. Because it's like, oh, well, you know, Cyberpunk Edgerunners is bad because a character is a quote-unquote lolly, and therefore the West is falling, right? You know, and like, I don't know. I mean, I haven't watched Cyberpunk Edgerunners, but I saw pictures of the character. It's not really a lolly. I don't really. It's not. Like it's not some like.
I feel like people tend to use a lolly as some umbrella term
for just skinny short girl.
Basically.
I find that to be like so unhealthy as like a concept. Is like
any type of short girl, really.
If a girl is 4'10" and she doesn't have, and she's not particularly chesty, it's a lolly, or is it just like if she's 4'10" or if she's
a lolly
4'11"?
originally actually meant kid, but then later on it like developed because the term lolly was also being used for like characters who were 400 years old and stuff like that, you know? They would just call like any character that fit that body type a lolly. So it keeps changing its definition, but now they just want to broaden it a little bit more beyond even the body type.
You're two-timing dame, Skinny. You ought to tell her to write home more often.
It's also like, if you just think about like Japan in general, like
Japan got some problems.
how many like 6-foot-tall busty bitches do you see like swinging around in Japan? Not a ton. So it's like you're kind of, and then also Japan has interesting vernacular with dating. Like not even just from like anime, but like some random videos of like asking random people on the streets of Japan questions, and like one of the
Then what's this guy doing here, huh?
one of the questions encourage violence. Wake up and encourage violence. Their vernacular is like, the best compliment for a guy is cool, and the best compliment for a girl is cute.
Yeah.
Which is sort of different from the U.S., where like you would say like gorgeous or hot or something. And hot is definitely different than cute.
Yes, it's a different type of gal that you're going to give that compliment to.
And cool for a guy is, I don't know, I guess you say handsome or something like that, but it's like, they kind of mean different things. So I don't know. Anyway. And I've told my anecdote of like, I've known, I think honestly, like, more than one girl has been like, any guy who thinks that I am attractive is a creep. They're just thinking of like little kids or something. And it's like, how are you gonna like, what are you gonna do in life? Like, have you ever? And
how are you gonna be with anyone if that's how you think of them? Yeah,
and I remember asking one girl like if she'd ever like dated anybody. It's like, well, so you're just gonna like die alone because every guy is a pedophile if they think you're attractive? Like, that seems like incredibly unhealthy and unproductive for your life. And it like blew their mind because no one had like said that to them. It's just like, how many like people just have completely fake conversations with other people where they just say stuff and then the other person just like, I feel like there's so many people I've met in life where they have a preset list of things that they say to people that haven't heard them yet, and then when people respond by saying their preset list of things that person hasn't heard yet, and then they just part ways, and that's the end of their interaction, but they don't really care what's going on with the other person talking, etc. And so when someone says something and you respond to the thing they just said, sometimes they're like confused and like almost startled, where it's like their brain has to start working. It's like, well, you're saying stuff, and then if I hear it and then I say stuff about it, it's like conversation, but I don't know. Anyway, so they had that weird reaction where they were like, oh, you're like saying stuff about the thing I said, and then it like blew their mind that like, and then she started saying like, well, you know, eventually, and I was like, well, you're not going to go through puberty again. You're 20, right?
Right.
Like, you're in college.
It's done.
You're not. There's no second puberty, so this is it. Like, you have to kind of, you're going to have to be okay with someone being attracted to this body. This is your body now. You're not still going through puberty.
Yeah.
So I don't know who put, and then they just like walked off in like a fog. I never talked to them again. I don't know what happened with them, but it was just like
they went through some mental changes
they
that day.
They weren't upset with me, but they were like really deep in thought about it, and I was like, all right, I guess they should go process that.
Well, that's why you have to have real conversations with people.
Yeah.
So you actually think in your life.
Because like, I don't know how many boyfriends they turned away because they're like, oh, they think I'm attractive physically. That means they're a pedophile. It's like, well, what are you gonna do? Like, cut your brain out, put it in a jar, and then stick it in a sex doll that's not. I don't know. Anyway, what do I pick? Oh, I'll just do the same way I did last time.
Darla, listen to me.
Darla, where are you going?
Yeah, Nora.
Home,
like that.
Skinny. Where I should have been all this time. This is goodbye for us.
Oh, come on, Nikki. You cost me my men. Now you and your friend cost me my girl.
My
You know what? I
friend.
don't actually like that option. Can I just like have him go away?
Got it. But I hear big fat footsteps on the other
You can
side.
always encourage violence.
Once we step through this door, get ready for anything.
seems bad.
It feels mean.
This whole quest feels like
Mean.
mean. Yeah, like I don't know. It seems stupid. Like why can't I just show up and be like, "Hey, let me in." Like I think you could probably sneak past people, but not the last guy. The last guy, I think you just have to fight. Or maybe not. Maybe you can get past him. I mean, he's so broadcasted.
What are you doing? You come into my house, shoot up my guys? You have any idea how much this is gonna set me back?
I wouldn't be here if
I
it
always
weren't
find
for your
it
two-timing dames.
kind of
Skinny.
odd
Tell her to ride
when
home.
people are like,
Oh, poor
because
little
the second part of that
Valentine.
comment about anime,
Ashamed
it's
you
like
got
useless
beat up by
people.
a
It's like
girl.
so people
I'll
that
just
spend
run back
time
home to
consuming media are useless, and like, well, that's your customers. So
This
Yeah.
ain't the old neighborhood.
Like I said, it just
In
doesn't
this
make
vault,
sense because
I'm
anything
king of
that
the
you could
castle,
apply to
you hear
those
me?
people
And I
could
ain't letting
theoretically be
some private
applied to
dick
your own
shut us
stuff.
down now that I
There's-
finally got a good thing going.
I told you we
Yeah.
should have just killed him.
there's so much like psycho,
All that stupid crap about the old times.
like
Darla, I'm handling this.
silence these
Skinny Malone's
fools.
always got
There's so much like
Oh yeah.
there's
Then what's
so
this guy
much
doing here, huh?
incessant psycho
Valentine
shit
must
from
have
the
brought
left
him here to rub us all
that I
out.
have dealt with for many years that I'm pretty okay with a super hard swing right, but in that hard swing right, there's definitely going to be people that are just like super puritanical about like
What's the deal
attractive
with you people
females
Nick
and stuff like that.
Darla's a runaway. Her father wanted me to bring her back
There
home.
was-
Turns out she skipped
Man,
town
I was like
to
looking
be
at
with
this
my
like
old pal,
meme
Skinny Malone.
on Instagram where it was
Mob
like
boss.
it was just a
Never thought he'd
standard
managed to scrape
trad
together
wife
a big
meme
enough
where it was
crew to
like
take over a vault. Guess
I want to
life's
live on a
full of
farm.
surprises.
And then like the guy's like,
who's running this
yes,
show
and then they
here?
live on a farm.
You got something to say?
But
Say
they
it to
drew
me.
the cartoon girl with like
Big boobs.
big boobs to like kind of emphasize the point that like
She's hot.
yeah, she's hot, and I think that's a really important.
This is all just a misunderstanding, Skinny. You know that. You let us walk,
Come on,
we
Skinny.
won't come back.
Like hell you won't.
What?
Don't you get it? All the other crews in the area will see this as weakness. Then they'll come for me. Sorry. Time to give you both the hard goodbye.
You guys are retarded.
You got
Skinny Malone. Think he's lighter or heavier with
Huh.
all those holes?
Oh
Bullets
boy.
probably add a few ounces.
Oh,
Okay, I got it. But I hear big fat footsteps on
I
the
didn't
other
save.
side. Once we step through this door, get ready for anything.
It feels mean to kill him though. Can I like speed up this conversation by just like pressing E and clicking a bunch of times?
No, I don't know. We can just talk over it about other stuff, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of okay with like a hard swing
What are you doing?
right after so many years of like
House, shoot up
the
my
most
guys?
incessant,
You have
insane
any
shit.
idea how much this is gonna set me back?
I wouldn't be here if it weren't for your two-timing dames.
We're watching that like TikTok
Gotta
where it
tell her
was
right
like
home,
the
Laura.
white shenanigans thing, or did I not show that to you?
Little
White shenanigans?
Valentine.
I don't know.
Ashamed
It was
you got
like-
beat up by a girl.
It
I'll
was
just run back home to daddy, shall I?
Should have left it alone, Nikki. This ain't the old neighborhood.
Yeah.
In this vault, I'm
Yeah,
king
yeah,
of the
yeah,
castle.
yeah, I
You
got it.
hear me? And I ain't letting some private dick shut us down now that I finally got a good thing going.
I
There was
told
some
you
there was
we
some
should've just
Asian
killed him.
girl who was
You
like,
had to get all sentimental.
oh, shut the fuck
All
up.
that stupid crap about the old times.
Be
Darla,
muted.
I'm
Why
handling
don't you have a
this.
mute button on your
Skinny
keyboard?
Malone's always got things under control.
Oh, yeah?
Um,
What's this guy doing here, huh? Valentine must have brought him here to rub us all
Anyway,
out.
she was saying that if you,
That wasn't the plan.
Hey, I'm the one.
This is all just a misunderstanding, Skinny.
You and Nick shot all of my crew, and you expect to just... All right. You're lucky I still...
she was saying that if you're
that
going
time
to
back in the quarry.
a
I'm gonna
social
give you
group
two
to
until-
hang
What are you
out
doing,
with,
Skinny? Kill him!
No, Darla. They get one chance to leave. Skinny Malone's putting his foot down.
My mother was right. You mobsters are all just talk.
We better get out of here.
oh, she leaves him for not killing us?
What a bitch. She just wants to leave.
You're dead, bitch.
Wait, will that turn Skinny against you?
Listen, you're a simp. This is for your own good. Oh yeah, Nora, you take care of that. Just burn me. That works. Yeah. That's what simps get. Oh. Nora got burned. Hang on. Yeah, there's an automatic exit save
Okay, cool.
to fix her face bug. So it's 19 caps per shot of the cryolator. An obscene price. It's actually pretty good for like the cost though. Still, you have to get really close, so it's not amazing. It's like a slightly better flamethrower. What was I talking about? Not that anyone's gonna remember. It's babbling about bullshit.
Conservatives in anime?
Oh yeah, I'm kind of okay with it, hard swing right, but there is gonna be like a ton of shit like that where like, so there's like the porn is evil, like to an extreme degree. Like there was the guy who did the what's it called? The Sound of Freedom. The real life person behind that and the actor were both in agreement that the existence of porn, like watching porn, turns people into child molesters. What do you call pedophiles?
Your secretary, Ellie, she sent me.
And therefore
should give her a raise.
Should be
Now,
banned,
mention
right?
something about your
So then
son,
the definition
Sean,
of
how he went
porn can
want you to
apparently
come
be
to my
extended
office in
to
Diamond
a
City.
meme with
Give me all
like
the details.
slightly
Besides, I think
like
you've earned a
larger
chance to sit
drawn
down and clear
boobs
your
and like
head.
basically one step up from a stick figure. And there was a bunch of people saying that was porn with like a bunch of likes on their comments, and it's like,
Oh boy.
I don't have time to sit and chit chat.
Look, I know. Meet me at Diamond.
level up. So yeah, that sounds like super cancer.
Right. I feel more confident that it's easier to talk to them, though.
Yes, I do
about
too.
These
I
subjects
100% do too.
than it is to talk about someone who would scream in your face and call you a bigot.
Yeah, I mean, like, in a sense, when you're trying to talk to... When you're trying to talk to someone on the left, well, at least when I am, right? I'm white. Even if they're white, they're trained to hate white people in all parts of white people, kind of including human society. So they're always going to hate you by default. So it's kind of like pointless. So you have no ability to like really get through to them. They kind of require that you play by their weird logic too. Like And when people do that, when they kind of pander to their logic, where they're like, they're trying to make an argument against like a leftist, they'll often try to make a reason why the leftist is instead racist. And like, I don't know, it just seems so pointless, kind of. Like, it doesn't, I don't know, like all their like benchmarks for like whether something is correct or good or bad all have to like center around that. It just seems very tedious. Whereas like when you're dealing with someone who's like more conservative, there's just like arguments you can make like based on like health and good of society and whatever. So I don't know. It seems far less dire to convince a conservative that you should be able to watch anime, especially because like a lot of anime has like
Use some fixing up.
conservative values in it, especially like work hard and then you get results. Like One Punch Man is literally just like, you know, work hard, be rewarded.
Punch communists.
Yeah, and he punches
Say
communists
what's on your
in the thing. So it's like,
Yeah.
I was wondering where you and I stand.
Glad to have you with me.
your thoughts?
Your thoughts?
I hope this is worth it.
More?
Your
More
thoughts?
Pack your things. You're working for the Brotherhood of Steel now.
Okay. Well, that was insightful. Take it with me in case you get any ideas.
Let me just stand here for 3 hours now.
Ah, Lover's Embrace.
This mod's been pretty nice so far.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Hey, Adam Bartolo.
Hey, fellow Adam.
Sure hope you remember to switch it to live chat. Don't worry. I'm at the wheel when it comes
yeah.
to a laptop.
You're
now.
so smart.
Yeah.
Wanna fight about it. Let's see. Laundered blue dress. Let's see. A new dress. Wait, what? How should she? Oh no, there's what? They're really a blue dress?
You need.
This is blue.
It's kind of blue. It's got blue on it.
Alright. Good enough for me. Oh wait, you have
Hey. Lead up.
more useless garbage. Yeah, let's take all stuff. 'Cause I don't think you need any of this junk. Oh, but now I can't move.
Hey, buddy. Hey, bud.
Oh, Gurgi.
On.
I'll put the junk jet away in case I want to use the junk jet one day. That rhymed. I'm very proud of myself. I wonder if I went to Good Neighbor, if the merchant there sells lead. Not that I need it, because the thing I was going to use the lead for was making the ammunition for the... Oh, by the way, you guys like my incredibly logical water farming operation? So we have little plots of garden soil and water pumps, so we can gather lots of water and then sell it.
Yum, yum.
Yes. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, why didn't you just put water pumps all around in the dirt? And yes, I could have if I was unimaginative. I didn't like fun.
His genius knows no bounds.
Yes. Oh, my armor is broken. Eh, who cares?
Got tired from scratching it and gave up.
Gricky's not in the best shape.
This shouldn't take long.
Oh, God. Guys.
You killed him!
Matthew Atkinson says they get the water from the soil, duh.
Yeah.
And Adam Barlow says, I played that quest you complained about before, the one where a guy gets cuffed.
Yeah.
I think you read the dialogue options wrong. You can side with him.
No, you can, but
I've got a few minutes to browse.
A little bit of everything.
I'm judging mostly from just the narrative. Should I be out of my suit? I guess it doesn't matter. You get better trade deals when you're not in power armor, I've noticed. I don't know if it's because my shirt gives that much of a bonus, but you can side with him, but it's like there's so many more dialogue options for
not.
Yeah, for just not. To the point where it feels like the narrative position of the quest is that he is bad for being upset that he's getting cucked. Yeah, this I remember I was like, oh, this looks like it would sell for a lot. Did not. Like, there's also no option just on the spot to kill or condemn the bartender or anything. The game sort of acts as though it's just like, I don't know, like a personal problem. So for example, the quest that shows up here, right, when you go to Drumlin Diner, drug dealer has been selling drugs to this kid, and then the father is like, you can't, he's selling drugs to the kid on credit, and now he's trying to extort the father for the money to pay for the drugs. And there's many options to kill the drug dealer. There's less options to get him to leave peacefully, and less options to help the drug dealer kill the diner owner. It's also like more advantageous to you money wise and everything if you
get rewarded more.
Yeah. They're, like, if you fail a persuasion check at any point, the evil guys start shooting at you. Whereas the diner owner does not.
You been to Good Neighbor? Friggin' hall. Rules and chemheads all over.
We're so delighted you've chosen us, Peel.
Sure, let's take a look.
And then when you complete the quest for him, like you do the drug deal thing, like you don't have an option of like buying the drugs off of him, and if you want the drugs instead of a flat payment, he like goes hostile and he's like, no, I'm tired of being pushed around, and just starts like trying to kill you. It's like, it just, I don't know. You could probably chalk it up to like bad quest design, but I don't know. Oh, maybe I could swap all the mods from this onto this. Meh. Do that later. Do I have? I do have purified water.
Every conceivable good you could.
I'll take a look, sure.
Oh, goody.
Sweet.
Yeah, also dealing with people who act as though like cheating by default, like you should by default sympathize with the person who's cheating rather than the person that's like cheated on, is
Very weird.
Yeah, very, very. But I've run into that too much. And, controversial take. If you cheat on someone, you're a bad person. It's not a good... It's not a positive trait to cheat on someone.
Yeah.
I'm a city surplus! Open 24 hours!
A blazing hot take. Oh, did I level up again? Alright, I guess we're going to Valentine's Detective Agency.
Coolio. Making my way downtown.
Ellie? Are you here?
Nick?
He was alarmed by your yawn.
It's really you.
You gotta
It's hard
toughen
to
up.
mistake this mug for anyone else.
You keep laughing at death. Someday, death's gonna laugh back.
Not as long as I got a few friends to back me up.
You saved Nick, this agency, and my job. Thank you.
Hey, happy to do it.
Yeah? Go diving into scary pre-war ruins all the time then, do ya? Here. I know an amount wasn't on the table when you went out to find him, but you deserve a reward. Plus a little something extra. You know, if you're looking for work and don't mind putting on the detective hat, Nick sure could use a new partner.
Whoa. One case at a time, Ellie. Our new friend needs our help first. All right, let's get down to business.
You don't want to check the detective cases. If you do, then, like, someone gets murdered in the town.
Oh, man.
That's what my brother said. So.
Hey, Valentine.
Let's go
You
over
have to
your
solve
case.
their murder, but
Take
it's
a
like...
seat.
I have to sit. Yeah. Alright, dude.
Alright.
Yes.
You really want me to sit down that badly? Let me just take off my power armor.
When you're trying to find someone who's gone missing, the devil is in the details. Tell me everything you can, no matter how painful it might be.
Hun?
My wife was... She was trying to keep them from taking Sean, and they just...
It's okay. You don't need to say anything more.
So, we're talking about a group of cold-hearted killers. But they waited until something... What else can you do?
Describe kidnappers.
There was a man and a woman.
So we're talking a small team?
Uh-huh.
Anything else you remember?
We were in a vault when it happened. Vault 111. It was some kind of cryo facility.
You were on ice, huh? More importantly, you were underground, sealed up. It's a lot of obstacles to get through just to take one person.
Yeah,
Anything
really.
else you remember?
We're looking for my son, Sean. He's less than a year old. Why would anyone take him?
Good question. Why your family in particular? Why an infant? Someone would be taking on all of his care, and a baby needs a lot of it. Now, that confirms it. This isn't a random kidnapping. Whoever took your kid had an agenda. There's a lot of groups in the Commonwealth.
Kind of weird that
take
they don't mention that the person,
raiders,
the scientist
super
person
mutants,
who
the gunners.
took the kid, they're wearing like a
Of course, there's the
clean room
institute.
suit with like a tri-optic like zoom thing. Why would I even ask about super mutants? What? How stupid is this dialogue?
Wait. Super mutants?
Oh.
Big.
So you think this...
Well, they're the boogie. Easy to see. Then you got the worst of all.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Sure.
You're a
one of
prototype?
them.
As far as I know, never seen any other synth like myself. There's the older ones that are dumb as rocks and all metal, and there's the newer ones that are almost human. I'm somewhere in between.
Somewhere in between. We got like a bicentennial man going on here, or what does that mean?
So, they took all of the memories from. He's the first synth, something like that.
You gonna talk?
Not like the first. There was like 4 or 5 of like a batch. They took all the memories from a detective known as.
Valentine.
Maybe yes.
It doesn't really matter the name.
Get hit in the head?
He's like.
I can relate.
He's like related to the Eddie Winters case, I believe. It's like a character in the game. So they uploaded all the memories of. I think it's a real detective, not a character, and then he is like that sort of.
It sounds like a standard synth to me. I don't know how that's somewhere in between.
He is in between Gen 1 and 2.
Okay, gotcha.
So Gen 1 is just like literal like robots. There's nothing that would make you think that they're supposed to be a person. They don't have facial expressions, I don't think. They look the most robotic, and then there's Gen 2, which is like what he looks like essentially, but they don't have like moving facial features. They're very stiff. And the Institute still uses those. But anyway, I think Trisha thinks they're
Don't lie to me, Nick. You're one of them. They made you.
Yeah, I've heard it all before. You're a freak. You've
Shut up,
got
Nora.
something to hide. Blah, blah, blah. But the truth is, people smart enough to build something like me are smart enough to cover their tracks, and arrogant enough to throw their unwanted trash into the Commonwealth.
Either way,
You're right.
the man who...
Could have been a large caliber revolver.
Uh-huh.
Anything more?
Sure.
outfits.
The woman was dressed in, I think it was a kind of hazard suit.
Ah,
The man
there we go.
had some sort of metal brace on his arm.
Maybe some kind of improvised armor? A lot of hired guns do that to look tough. The hazard suit is interesting. Not many mercs can afford something that fancy. What else do you remember about them?
I'll never forget that voice. Low and rough. Like sandpaper across your face.
Not much to go on, but a tough and commanding voice can get someone pretty far in the violence business. What else?
One of them came right up to me. Bald head. Scar across his left eye.
Wait. It couldn't be. You didn't hear the name Kellogg at all, did you?
Who is he? Do you think he has Sean?
Hey.
No. They never said their names.
That actually was
Way
pretty
too big of a
well-fitting dialogue.
coincidence. Ellie, what notes do we have about the Kellogg case?
The description matches. Bald head, scar, reputation for dangerous mercenary work, but no one knows who his employer is.
And he bought a house here in town.
I'm kind of
right?
curious if
He had a kid with him, didn't he?
Yeah, that's right. The house in the abandoned White
the
Stands.
guy was saying
The
that
boy with him was around 10 years old.
anime is for coomers and useless people.
Chaos Smash 64 said that he sent us the video. That probably was what the boop was on Steam.
Yeah.
Maybe it's another kidnapped kid.
Yeah, either that or he's got a son of his own. Not a comforting thought in any case. Both of them vanished a while ago. Haven't been heard or seen since. Let's you and I take a walk over to Kellogg's last known address. See if we can snoop out where he went.
Security
It's
doesn't
kind of a
really go to
cute
that part of
idea
town, but
the
you two
detective has a little
should still be
assistant who writes
careful.
everything
I
down.
always am.
Yeah. think this is kind of the last you see of her, though. She stays here.
I mean, that's fine. Makes sense.
That's some serious protection.
It's kind of... Yeah, I don't know. It seems like a very unintelligent decision to be shitting on anime when you're selling comic books.
Everything I dug up about Kellogg before his disappearance.
Especially while manga is booming.
He's more than just a
Because
mercenary.
anime fans are going to be your only market.
Clean, thorough. Has no enemies because they're all dead. Except
I would
9 to 1 odds says he's
I would be very surprised if there's a real market of people who like Western comics and not Eastern
Leading a
comics.
small team to kidnap
Like,
a baby and leaving one of the parents alive for later.
there's not.
Many
I can't imagine there's a lot of people like that that would buy his stuff that don't watch anime. It seems like. Real actual Coomers are like kind of
Keep an
horrific
eye out, will
as
you?
a concept.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like,
I mean, there are real Coomers out
It's
there,
one heck
but
of a lock. Something to hide, Kellogg?
Yeah.
Why don't you give it a try?
Lock's really strong.
okay, so if I can't pick this,
No
then I
luck?
have to go convince like the mayor to give me the fucking key, right? Good.
See that
Alright,
platform
we
in
might
the
as well play
distance?
it out.
Near the city entrance? That's the elevator to the mayor's office. Why don't you go ask around there? I'll stay here and see if I can jimmy this lock.
Oh right, I have caps lock on. That's why I'm going so slow. I'm so confused. The thing in the center doesn't make a ton of sense. Is like, what is that really? Is that from a noodle stand? That much steam?
it is a lot, I must say. Something's going on behind that noodle stand.
And like, that's the picture now?
Come out of his office, huh? He's afraid of talking to the press? I bet if I said I was with the Institute, he'd come running.
You ever think maybe you could get a man's attention easier if you use softer words, honey? Maybe shout a little less.
Got
It
him.
reminds me of this article I'm writing about the mayor's affair with a certain air-headed blonde. Oh, look who it is. What brings you to the mayor's office, huh?
I'm trying to track down a man named Kellogg.
Interesting. That's the guy who bought the house in the abandoned West Stands.
Adam
And that
Butterlone
kid-
says, I don't think his feelings on her are even that strong. I think
The
it has
mayor
more to
needs to
do
make
with
time
his
for more
feud with the common
responsible
America
citizens.
peeps than anything else.
I was just leaving anyway.
Hmm.
I don't know anything about
The mayor's
this
receiving
feud
visitors as
with
long as they
them.
aren't members of the press.
This is the
Did
first
you
time
know-
hearing about it. But
Yeah, I don't know.
yeah. Common America's cool though.
But yeah, the concept of like an actual Coomer is like kind of just the super horrific concept. So like someone, to me anyway, that would be someone who like as a hobby, instead of playing video games or watching anime or reading manga or playing sports or anything, for fun, their activity that they would do, you know, go to school, come home, and then all they would do until they go to sleep is just like watch porn and jerk off.
Yeah.
And like, so like even if they're not like in the mood, they would just watch stuff until they are and just do that nonstop. And that seems like a good way to fry all of your like all of the receptors in your brain, like just completely like. That sounds immensely unhealthy and just
Need help?
not incredibly mentally stimulating.
I need to talk to someone about Kellogg's old house in the West Stands.
Mr. Kellogg's residence? He left town a while ago. We foreclosed on the property and locked it up. If there was something belonging to the man that you have a claim on, you could ask the mayor to hear you out. No guarantees.
I don't have time. I need that key now.
Why is finding this key so important to you, honey?
Hang on. Why don't I show you?
Get better.
Geneva.
I'm sorry, but you're not getting that key for me.
Just... Well, you know, let's do one of these.
Just trust me. It's important. You have my word.
Well, you do have an honest
Well, there you
case,
go.
and it's not like there's anything important in an abandoned house.
Yeah, I have really high charisma. It's
I
just
can't
like when you're in the
believe I'm
suit,
doing
you
this,
doesn't
but
you
what
don't
the
get
hell?
Right,
Here you go,
right.
honey. Now, don't do anything in that place I wouldn't do.
it. Okay.
I love how she's like, "You're never getting that key," and then you go, "Just trust me, bro." And she's like, "Okay."
Yeah.
All right. I guess you're not so bad.
Basically. What's their feud with the Common America stuff? Tell us all the drama. I'm not gonna...
Yeah, relay to us all the drama.
Drama is not as interesting as having people tell you drama. You know what I mean? Like... When you already know all this stuff, it's not like that interesting. But to hear about some drama... Is this the dugout? How is there just a dugout? Wait. Wouldn't you use this? You know, it's a security office. I guess that makes sense, but I don't know.
Heard you rescued Valentine. Good work. Most synths scare the hell out of me, but Nikki, he ain't like those Institute psychos.
Got the key? All right. Let's take a look around. Kellogg must have left something behind. Place seems small to you? Figured a guy like Kellogg would think big.
Okay, and then...
Nothing here. Well, that's one way to hide a room.
Nice.
Well, look at this. All of a Merc's favorite things.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of sugary stuff in general. But I've been just basically having water for quite a while when I had Iron Brew. And I gotta say, when you've been a good boy and not had any, like, sugary shit to...
Gwinnett Stout beer, 44 caliber bullets, and cigars. San Francisco Sunlight.
Yeah, so when you've only been drinking water and you have a super sugary, literally radioactive drink, peeing is quite a journey. Yeah, I agree, Gertie.
He's back to running.
There's gotta be someone who can help.
Yeah, let me think. There is someone I know. A specialist of a kind. Always goes his own way, but I can get him here.
Who is it?
Who's this friend of yours, Nick?
Worked with him a few times, but he only likes certain people. Got a feeling you'll get on, though.
I feel like
You'll meet soon enough.
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
send out the signal. It's a special frequency, so you won't hear it, but he will. Okay, I
Oh,
called
Pupper?
him. Let's wait outside.
Hell yeah, Pupper. Is there a guy just in the corner there?
Where?
Over, right? That?
to shoot it for you.
Is that just a dude hanging out?
It's a mannequin.
Oh, okay. Well, it's a very good-looking mannequin.
Okay. Take your word for it.
There he is. Prompt as always. Ready to get to work, dog meat?
Dog meat.
Yeah, you can have dog meat introduced to you here if you skip going to Red Rocket. This isn't fun.
This isn't funny, Nick. How's a dog supposed to help us?
Your faith in me is really starting to become inspiring. Look, there's no hiding anything from that nose. Show him the cigar. He'll track Kellogg down. Before you head out, I know this is personal business. If you have to face Kellogg on your own, just say so. Besides, you already have plenty of company. Can't all go sniffing through the Commonwealth after one man.
Goodbye, Nick.
Hopefully not forever. I want to see you and your kids safe and sound when you get back. Good luck. Anytime you need help, just come knocking.
Alright, we got Pupper. You sound.
I'm pretty zonked.
Right now it's like 8:35, so it makes sense that you would be pretty zonked.
Ugh.
I guess we should end the stream. And then
Yeah.
we pick up traveling with our doggo.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say a successful stream.
It's a good time to, like... Yeah. It's a break from the main story and go pick up weapons anyway. Because this is going to be, like, a big quest.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Sorry. I'm, like... My sleep schedule is all fucked up, so, like... Yeah.
Yeah, that's why we streamed earlier today.
Yeah. Although, I am... glad to have you guys here and stuff. Happy story.
Do you have a happy story?
I have 2 happy stories.
Ooh!
But I haven't talked about anything that was, like, too much of a big bummer. So I feel like I should
You feel like you gotta save them? Save them for a Saturday.
Say, you know... Well... Okay, I'll tell the lesser happy of the 2 happy stories. Got a real happy story, but I feel like I haven't talked about enough bummer stuff to warrant the more extreme of happy. Plus, it's a better story, and I'm pretty zonked. I don't feel like it's gonna be delivered super well.
Okay. That is fair.
We talked to this guy who owns a diner and classic. He's Greek, and he just bought the diner. It was a real like piece of shit diner, but he's like he's really cleaning it up, and it looks real nice. There was like for ages there was this like water damage in the ceiling, and he like fixed even that. So, you know, he's yes, he's doing good small business things. There was this like old lady in there who was like, this was like amazing, blah blah blah.
Nice guy, sociable.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but like, you know, he was getting good reviews from the seniors in the town. You know, like old people are very discerning with the food they eat, etc. So, or at least my grandparents were. So I don't know. Then, you are a cute puppy. Oh, God. like holding on to a thread, my consciousness.
Yeah, well, it's okay.
Anyway, the guy's Greek, and I was like, oh, that's super cool. You know, I was like, what's your name? And he was like, oh, well, Harry, but you know. And then like, you know, like, nah, what's the like, you know, full name? Like he was like, oh, you know, and I was like, what? And he was like, he's like, well, my real name's like, brr, you know, it's like,
yeah, right.
It's a real like cool
Something
Greek thing.
you could never pronounce.
Yeah, and then and I was like, he mentioned he had kids, and I was like, oh, what are your kids' names? Because we've gone in a couple times talking to him, and I was like, oh, did you give him like cool Greek names? Got some Hercules, got some Athena going on. And he was like, oh, yeah, I tried. And he made sure that they all had, like, nicknames that were relatively normal.
Right. Something that most Americans could pronounce.
Yeah, and they were cool names. And, you know, they had, like, decent nicknames. And he was like, oh, you know, his, like, primary concern was kids bullying them in school. And it's like, I don't know. Kids are going to do a lot more beyond school. So they should have sick names. And then... he's also having them learn Greek in like Greek school or whatever.
Yeah, they have like a community.
Yeah, they have like a Greek Orthodox church, and they have like a sort of CCD for that, but they teach them how to speak Greek. And I think that's super cool. I wish I had that. For like Italian or
yeah, and it's like a really high Italian population around here too, so it's kind of funny that there's nowhere like that. It's that we know of anyway.
It's honestly fucking ridiculous.
I guess there's the mob, but you know.
Mob doesn't exist.
I'm just joking.
Although there is that like funny stereotype of like every Italian person claims that they know somebody in the mob. You know, apparently, like, whatever. I'm, like, semi-related to, like, some... I guess I shouldn't say. But,
let's just say, don't mess with us, or you'll hear from our people.
No, don't say that.
It's a joke.
Yeah, no, we don't know anybody, but, I don't know. Somebody related to me was like, or somebody's relative was like married to the leader of one of the crime families. But anyway, that gives me 0 connections. Anyway, yeah. So I don't know. The happy story is that guy is Greek and his kids know how to speak Greek, and he gave them cool Greek names, and they're like hanging on to their culture in like a society that sometimes is like, if you're white, you should just die. So it's kind of cool that guy's like, you know,
preserving their culture.
Yeah, it's nice. So, and he seems like happy. The business is going pretty okay, and you know, living the American dream and stuff. So
and that's our happy story for tonight.
Yeah, let me just like check chat real quick.
Oh, they're just like worried about you nodding off.
You can hear Chad nodding off between sentences. No, I'm awake. I'm just more... Sorry, but Nora's neck is horrifying right now.
Just because it's like...
Oh, it does look terrifying. Yeah, the shadows just make it look like your head is floating.
You're right.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, anyway, good night, everyone. And we'll see you on the next stream.
I'm pretty awake. The problem is just that, like, between my words, it's, like, longer and longer gaps of, like...
Yeah, it's okay.
Anyway, catch you guys... Thank you guys so much for hanging out. I really appreciate it. And, hopefully you guys will join us again, tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah, let's stream again tomorrow.
I don't know when.
Or
But,
whenever the heck we feel like it. How about
Tomorrow
that?
at some point. Definitely gonna stream stuff. Probably this character again, I would say. Do the main quest with Nora, because it seems a little bit more interesting to find your son with your wife and stuff.
Yeah, that is really interesting, I think.
Yeah. So anyway, see you guys on the